there are two main routes. First of all, we have an IAEA publication. Each working group prepares a IAEA document, which is called a TechDoc, technical document, or within the technical report series, it's also a technical document. And on top of that, there's a great interest of all participants to also publish their results achieved during these groups in peer-reviewed scientific journals. For example, Journal of Radiological Environment, etc. And the IAEA really encourages the publication of these results to enable a wide distribution of this work. And so a large number of those papers were published. When I started, I tried to count it, but sooner or later I gave up because it's many which are related to work done in these IAEA programs. So currently we have MODARIAⅡ, and this program was initiated in 2016, and it is going to run until 2019. Again, we have now 7 working groups. Usually we have an external working group leader who is not from the IAEA, and we have a so-called scientific secretary. This is staff from the IAEA who accompanies this work of these groups. I don't want to go into any of these details. I think you have the printout, and if you have any questions later on, you can ask me. I just want to go for some I hope highlights, some things which may be particularly important for Japan, or for interesting for Japan. One is, for example, in working group 2, is assessment of exposures and doses plus the effectiveness of countermeasures in urban environments. And there's one particular aspect. This is about the experience in Japan following the accident at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. And this deals with an exposure scenario which is based on measurements and a monitoring carried out in a part of the Fukushima prefecture after the accident. And so participants are asked to make, with their own models, a specific assessment of activity concentrations in the environment, of the dose rates, and of the doses to people. By the end, the different models will be compared, and the differences will be analyzed and evaluated. So this is some effect to introduce experience made in Japan into the global, into the international community in this field. We have here also assessment of exposure to the public and biota for plant releases. And number 4, transfer processes and data for radiological impact assessments, including the transfer in tropical and subtropical environments. The working leader is Brenda, We have here the scientific secretary, Sergei Pasenko. Maybe some people may know Sergei. And we have here a specific and I think very important task is to analyze the transfer parameters in Japan determined after the accident at the Fukushima nuclear power plant. We know a lot of measurements were made, both monitoring measures and also measures, experiments, specific experiments to study specific processes. And the idea is here to collect and to compile this work, or at least part of this work. A lot has been done in Japan, and I'm not really sure whether we can do everything, but to compile this work and to bring it to and to enable also other member states to use it and to look at it in detail. And another thing is also the models and data for tropical and semi-tropical arid environments. Going group 5 is modeling radiation exposures and effects on wildlife. Here the working group leader is Nick Beresford, Jordi Vivasi-Butler and Frederic Alonso. And I think yesterday Nick Beresford was here and gave also some presentation. And probably he has also touched upon many of those aspects. Number 6 is a follow-up of the work which was done in MODARIAⅡ on biosphere modeling for long-term safety assessments. And number 7 is also follow-up on the marine modeling, fate and transport, operating group lights in the marine environment, and the reliability of models, and also to explore the limitations of models. And exploring the limitation in any of this work is a very important factor. We have to deal with models for the environment. And as you all know, the environment is a very complex system with complex subsystems. There are a lot of interactions, and it will be never possible to understand all these interactions really in detail. The idea is to identify trends, to identify typical situations, and also to explore, to get an idea about the limitations of our work. And these limitations will always remain. There's no matter to escape from that. The question is always to be, what does the general trend tell us, and what does the limitations tell us, and are the limitations that require further detailed assessments, further detailed studies and investigations. MODARIA will run from 2016 to 2019. The final technical meeting will be in October 2019. We have one joint technical meeting per year of all working groups in Vienna. This is also to enable the cooperation between the working groups and to address common issues, common interests. And then we have interim meetings, usually held in summer. which are organized by the individual working groups. This might be in Vienna or other places. And one of these meetings is from tomorrow to Wednesday here at Tsukuba University. If you need some further information, we have a website. Just put Modaria into a searching engine and this will come up sooner or later. The next technical meeting is from 30th of October to 3rd November 2017 in Vienna. Yeah, and so forth. Thank you for that. This is a very brief overview on that. Are there any questions?